What's the deal behind the ads about President Biden cutting Medicare by $300 billion? Take a look.
How did DC liberals fund $200 billion for IRS and Green New Deal pet projects? By raiding our Medicare. Now President Biden's proposing massive Medicare Advantage cuts to seniors that could slash over $500 in benefits per retiree. While Biden breaks his promise to 30 million seniors who chose Medicare Advantage, Congresswoman Mary Peltola is silent. So we must speak. Tell Mary Peltola to protect Alaska seniors and stop Biden's Medicare benefit cuts.
This next commercial makes it sound like Biden is taking away benefits and increasing Medicare Advantage premiums. Listen carefully.
How's the knee? Better than your hip. But that's the least of it. I forgot, you never read. Medicare.
What? They might cut Medicare Advantage.
Come on. They're talking about it in Washington.
Cut Medicare Advantage? Higher premiums?
With inflation already so high?
That's nuts.
She gets it.
Somebody in Washington is smarter than that, aren't they?
We're about to find out.
For 30 million seniors, Medicare Advantage is Medicare. Call the White House, tell them not to cut it.
So is Biden cutting Medicare or the benefits in Medicare Advantage plans? Well, let's get to the bottom of this. Hi, I'm Kai.
And I'm Ann, with Gracie, our retirement puppy. So is Biden cutting Medicare? Regarding original Medicare, no. These ads refer to Medicare Advantage plans. Well, what is a Medicare Advantage plan? We'll show you another video to watch at the end of this video.
But is it really true that President Biden is going to cut Medicare Advantage plans benefits and increase your premiums? Well, let's watch what one of the news channels said regarding this topic.
First, who made it? Well, it's a group called the American Action Network. They spent $2 million to launch this ad and similar ads in 13 other congressional districts. They call themselves an action tank. Get it? Sort of like a think tank, but they do stuff besides think. They say they promote center-right policies based on freedom, limited government, American exceptionalism, and strong national security. They do this through a nationwide campaign, print and TV ads like the one we're fact-checking, along with mail, robocalls, and online videos. They are not affiliated with any specific candidate. American Action Network was founded in 2010 by Fred Malek and Norm Coleman. Malek was a businessman and political advisor. He worked on every Republican campaign for president of the last 40 years. However, he did not work on Donald Trump's campaign. Coleman is a lobbyist and an attorney and was once a senator from Minnesota. The current president of the group is Dan Constan. He's well known for his work in political ad strategy, and he's the president of the Congressional Leadership Fund, which works to elect Republicans to the House. They're talking about the increase for IRS funding and other projects under the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed last August. The law did grant an additional $79.6 billion in funding to the IRS and more to other clean energy projects, but it did not fund that by raiding Medicare, as the ad claims. That is false. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget took a look at the new law. They're an independent nonprofit that analyzes policy. They say the money came from savings that were part of the Inflation Reduction Act. The Congressional Budget Office's report on the law says the main contributors to that decrease were pricing reforms for prescription drugs, which the CBO estimates will reduce prescription drug spending in Medicare Part D and Medicare Part B. The CBO mentions that the government's savings would be offset by increased spending on the IRS and clean energy projects. So there you go. Savings in one area allowed spending in the other. But saying that Medicare was raided is a bit of a leap. To simplify, it's a bit like if you figure out a way to save money on one part of your budget, maybe you find a cheaper place to buy gas or groceries. Well, that frees up money to be spent somewhere else, but you didn't lose any gas or groceries, you just got them cheaper.
So is President Biden going to cut Medicare Advantage plan benefits and increase premiums?
The short answer is no. The Biden administration is not proposing cuts to Medicare Advantage plan benefits.
What they've done is propose changes to how insurance companies who offer Medicare Advantage plans are paid.
Exactly. Their aim is to reduce Medicare fraud and waste. But those changes don't require cuts to the insurance benefits in the Medicare Advantage plans, as you saw in the bowling commercial.
Here are the two proposed changes.
There are two rule changes being proposed. The first is the government would be allowed to recover money from times they've overpaid those companies in the past. It's a bunch of money, $4.7 billion over 10 years. Several studies and federal government audits have shown that private insurance companies have often overbilled billions to the government for Medicare Advantage plans. They do that by attaching as many diagnostic codes as possible to their patients' records to harvest bonus payments, diagnoses that don't necessarily need to be included. The second rule change is an update to the way insurance companies will be paid by the government. It would reduce some payments to insurers, but the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, well, they estimate that the overall effect of the changes would actually end up increasing total payments to the companies by about 1%. But some opponents say that the insurance companies would just pass the price changes on to customers and that people on Medicare Advantage plans could end up paying more that way. But that would be the choice of the insurance companies on their own. It would not be a requirement. Now, some major insurance companies have been very outspoken against the changes. Lastly,
Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez is silent.
so we asked Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez about it, and no, she wasn't quite silent at all. Her campaign staff told us the ad is a lie, paid for by big drug companies who know Marie is going to hold them accountable for the outrageous prices they charge Southwest Washington seniors. Marie rejects contributions from corporate PACs and cannot be bullied by desperate, misleading attacks like these.
To sum it up, we like how KGW News likens this cut. To say that Biden raided Medicare is a bit of a leap. Policies were enacted to reform pricing structures in order to reduce Medicare costs. To simplify, it's a bit like if you figure out a way to save money in one part of your budget, perhaps by finding a cheaper place to buy gas or groceries, and free up that money to be spent elsewhere. But you didn't cut back on your gas or groceries. You just got them cheaper.
Also, there's an article in the New York Times that's worth reading. It explains further reasons for all of this frenzy of lobbying and advertisements from insurance companies and other medical groups. We'll leave a link in the description below.
Now, later in the news channel, they said the shocking truth about these misleading political ads.
Political ads are not required to be factual. The law allows politicians to say almost anything they want in a commercial. That's because political ads are regulated by the FCC, which applies just two rules. One is that all the candidates have to have the same opportunity to buy commercial time on the TV stations. And two is that politicians can say pretty much whatever they want. TV stations are not allowed to censor a political ad. This is different than the rules for consumers, by the way. Consumer ads, those are the ones that sell you the products, well, they do have to be truthful. But political ads, totally different. They can say whatever they want. And the FCC generally does not ensure the accuracy of the statements in those political ads.
What the? How are consumers like you supposed to know who to trust after hearing that? We would like to get your opinion. How do you feel about these type of commercials? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
Well, our company focuses on full transparency, and we do our best to find these types of articles and videos to share with you, which takes hours of research and editing. So, if you enjoy this video, please take a quick second to click the like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, so you don't miss out on these important updates.
And we hope everyone knows the real truth behind all of these commercials.
Yes, so please share this video with as many people as possible.
Now, you might have heard Medicare Advantage plans are bad. And some say never choose a Medicare Advantage plan. What's the truth behind that statement?
Well, what a coincidence. We happen to have a video on that exact topic.
Click on this video here where Ann and I debate whose mom made a better decision. My mom, who chose a Medicare Advantage plan, while
my mom chose a Medigap supplement plan. But if you're not sure what's the difference between the two, then click here or here to understand the 5 key points between a Medicare Advantage versus a Medigap supplement plan.
And also feel free to call us with any questions regarding this topic or if you have any questions on your Medicare plan. There's no cost to you ever.